We're back this morning catching up with Joshua Jackson. You might remember him from his early days as Charlie Conway from those Mighty Ducks movies. And of course, who can forget his role as Pacey on the hit teen drama series Dawson's Creek?
Well, now Josh is headed back to the big screen, starring in the new film Karate Kid Legends, which brings together the iconic martial arts masters from the beloved franchise with a completely new story full of action and heart. Joshua, good morning. It's so nice to have you here.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
So we're kind of the same age. Like, I feel like Karate Kid, the original, was,
right in the wheelhouse. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, and this film is all of those wonderful things that we remember from those films, but told in a more modern way. So the fighting is very modern. The action scenes are incredible. The new Karate Kid really put in the work. Like, he is astonishing on camera. And then for me, you have this, I think for all of us, when we get to take our kids now, there's something particularly special about being able to pay that forward to the next generation. And I haven't worked on something that my daughter could watch in quite a long time.
True.
Not the affair?
No.
Not so much.
Yeah, not so much. So it'll be nice for me to actually be able to take her to the movies and show Daddy.
Yeah. Here's what you do.
Daddy's role is a victor, an ex-boxer who got a gym. You got to go back into training to try to save the family business. What was it like, not only going into this storied franchise, but training to get into shape? I mean, you look like you're in great shape to begin with, but how much more training did you have?
Yeah, I mean, so I walk around at like 175. I was almost 195 for the film. So it was just, because he's an ex-heavyweight, so just to put on all that extra weight.
Well, see, I got that part.
You could be a Karate Kid.
It's harder than I thought it was going to be. Like, I was eating 4,000 calories a day, and just like, yeah. So the training part, it is, it's the fun part of my job. Every time you pick up a job, you got to pick up a new skill. But the training hits different at 45, 46 than it did when I was in my 20s.
I mean, to your point, it is one of those beloved franchises that has spanned generations now. What do you hope that audiences take away from this particular version?
Well, okay, so when I remember when I went and saw the first one, right?
Yeah.
And I remember walking out of the theater and everybody's crane kicking, and I think for 2 years, I called them Kung Fu shoes. I was wearing slippers for 2 years because I really thought I was going to be a Kung Fu master. And we were doing some press with Ben, who is the new Karate Kid, and he was saying, for him, it's the Jaden Daniels Karate Kid. So now there's 3 generations that each generation gets their own Karate Kid. And I think there's something really spectacular. Like, we can go as fathers, as mothers, bring our kids and like continue this lineage, which just doesn't really happen.
You're right.
Maybe Star Wars, things like that.
Sure.
But there's something really beautiful about bringing it forward to a next generation where we get to share that with our children.
That's a really good point.
For me, it is the biggest piece of joy from this film.
Yeah. You mentioned your daughter being able to see this film. What do you love most about being a dad?
I mean, hard to encapsulate. Every phase has been different, but at this phase, I'm just astonished by her every day. The things that pop out of her. She's in school now. She's absolutely thriving in school. And just to see her blossom and become her own person more and more day by day has been
You created this person.
I don't know that I did. I think, me and my ex-wife, we definitely created this child, but then there's a piece of her that was just always her, and to watch that grow and bloom now has been so beautiful.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's got one of the things, you're like so many, you're native from Los Angeles. You grew up in this wonderful home, which you unfortunately lost during the wildfires, as did so many, and you're blessed to have the wherewithal to get through that. But it's still from an emotional standpoint, knowing that your daughter can't go to see that home now. What is that like?
I mean, it's not easy. It was particularly the first 6 weeks was a scramble. But can I tell you a story?
Sure.
Okay. So it just so happened that on the day of the fire was a transfer day. So I dropped her off at school. Her mom picks her up, which was a blessing because it meant I had 6 days to kind of get it together, figure a place for us to live, get the house restocked, just get our feet on the ground. But it also meant that for 6 days she didn't know her house burned down. So when she comes back, we sit down and I tell her, honey, I've got some bad news. The house burned down. She starts to cry, which is good, right? She's processing. And then she starts asking me about particular things in the house. I say, yeah, all that's gone too. And I tell her, this is not a grown-up thing. You can ask me any question you want about this, and I will tell you whatever you want to know. And she said, I would like to see some pictures. I said, okay. So I show her some pictures of the house. She looks at it. She goes, Daddy, when we build the new house, we should build it with water around it because water doesn't burn.
Oh, wow.
Like, okay.
That's how she's
And then she says,
yeah.
and you know what? We should build it with dirt around it because dirt doesn't burn. I said, honey, these are great ideas. I'm going to write these down and we're going to write out a list. And so we spent an hour just going through it. Now, the list became turrets and rainbows and unicorns. Some of these things I might have a little difficulty providing, but it was amazing. This is the kind of thing, like, to watch her process, like, this is lost, and she still brings it up. You know, I miss my old house, and I can't. We've gone up there a bunch of times to try to keep a connection with the land and help her through it. But I'm astonished by her resiliency and her ability to process.
Your daughter's very well adjusted. By the way, we couldn't let you get out of here without giving you a little taste of New York because your character in the movie owns a pizza parlor. We know you're a fan of New York style pizza, so we brought some pizza for you.
Hey,
got you some pizza.
The good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Andrew.
What is it like? What is it that you like about New York pizza?
Okay, so to me, New York pizza is the perfect blend of bread, cheese, sauce, right?
Don't disagree.
Yeah, that's
And
all
size.
How do you eat? Oh, yeah, you're full.
It's the fold.
Yeah. When you were filming, was it New York style pizza?
Yeah, so pardon me, but we were up in Montreal, and there's some controversy every time you go to a new place like bagels, right? So we had to bring in people to do the New York style pizza properly, and they had to try to teach me. Turns out it's not actually all that easy.
Oh, no.
No, there's a skill.
That's why it's New York pizza.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you,
so
Joshua.
much for being
Thank you,
here.
Joshua.
Such a pleasure. Karate Kid Legends. It'll be in theaters this Friday.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.